today? You and Yoseline? Okay, let's see. Mute. See if Haley pops on today. She was in Hawaii last week. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Going in. Going in.
There's Miss Angel. She's right for her duties.
There's Yoseline. You see her? You can go behind her. Do you like the music in your ear? Okay, sorry. Putting you guys down. One moment, putting you guys down. There she goes in her spot, good girl. Is that straight? I can never tell. Is that straight enough? Okay. Oh, hi, Chris. All right, friends. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Let's see, announcements. So this weekend is Mother's Day weekend. We have a spring creators market happening in this space on Friday and Saturday. So no classes here Friday or Saturday. But on Sunday, we do have classes and it will just be mine at 10 a.m. And then Kim has a special workshop at noon, which is her Roomie and Restore workshop. So mine is still just by donation, show up. Kim's is $25 and you can sign up in advance. Probably if you show up, that's fine as well. But yeah, it is like a special class. And then I don't know if any of you usually go to Jenny's Restore class in the evening, but she's not teaching that on Sunday evening. So, and I also have Glow Yoga on Saturday. So no classes here, but we are teaching Glow Yoga Saturday. So my class is 3 to 5 and I have my flyer out on the desk. It's not 2 hours of yoga. You get there, get settled in, paint yourself, paint your friends with glow paint, and then the yoga itself is about 75 minutes. So, any questions? Okay, let's just do it then. So come to a comfortable seat if you're not there already, and you might take a moment, just kind of get your wiggles out, feel around, get some physical feedback. Anything that feels good, and then eventually settle in. So feeling into a nice neutral spine, a nice long spine. Draw up through the crown of your head and feel your connection to the ground through your sit bones. Be intentional with how you're placing your hands. So maybe you just want to rest your hands in your lap, palms face down for a little more grounding, connection to yourself. Palms face up for a little more openness, receptivity. Maybe you want to bring your hands to your heart, or even one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. So whatever works best for you, just be intentional. And then with your eyes closed, start to really bring yourself into this present moment. So letting whatever is going on in your life outside these walls just kind of fade to the periphery. And feel everything that creates this moment right here, right now. So notice sounds, smells, temperature. Notice sensations inside your body, and even energetics, emotions that might be moving through you. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. And next time you breathe in, very intentionally, fill up as big as you can. When you think you are full, see if you can even take just an extra little sip of air at the top, like a teaspoon more. And then when you're ready, open your mouth, a big sigh, let it go. Ah, very nice. Do that again. Great big inhale. So fill up really full, hold in that fullness. See if you can keep holding your breath, but relax and soften around it. And then open your mouth and big sigh, release. Ah, good. Do that one more time. Biggest inhale you've taken all morning long. Almost like you're waking up your body from the inside with this great big huge breath. And then big sigh. Ah. Good. Seal your lips now and begin to drop into Ujjayi breath. So putting a little bit of effort behind your breath, but not forcing or straining. Each inhale moves all the way down into your belly. So it's a deep diaphragmatic breath. Each exhale, see if you can take every single exhale all the way to the very bottom. So most of us, when we breathe just during the day, we're not emptying out completely. So see if you can really find emptiness at the bottom of each exhale. Maybe even take a little tiny pause in between each breath. Make your breath slow and steady, and even explore smoothing out your breath. So you're using the muscles in the back of your throat to regulate, to slow, to smooth. So just putting that gentle control in your breath. You can be right here, just feeling into this, exploring this, connecting to your own rhythm for as long as you want to. Whenever you feel ready for some movement, you're welcome to start from your seat if you'd like, just kind of moving through your upper body or maybe exploring a bit with your arms. Eventually, take your breath with you and transition to hands and knees. So whenever you're ready, tabletop position, and just move in any way that calls to you. So maybe that's cat-cows, maybe that's hip circles, maybe that's just sitting back into a child's pose and taking a few breaths there. So you do you, feel into your body, move with your breath, and just notice whatever there is to notice happening inside of you today. So rather than just going into habits or patterns, see if you can actually move from this moment and from what you feel. So you're not thinking your way through. It's not like, okay, I do 3 cat-cows, 3 hip circles, and then I sit back into a child's pose. Like, what does my body want? What feels good? Ooh, that feels tight. I'm gonna work with that for a moment. So just staying curious, staying present, moving from your felt senses. If it helps, close your eyes. So getting out of your head and dropping more into your body. Feeling the energy inside of you, paying attention to your breath as it flows through. And then in your next few rounds, no rush, but whenever you feel ready, you can start to make a transition back to our first downward facing dog of practice. Good, everyone. And as you move back into your down dog, keep your exploration going. Keep feeling into it. And again, rather than just popping up into your down dog, And feeling like, okay, I know this pose, I'm here, and tuning out. See if you can actually tune in more. So, how does this pose feel in your body today? How could you adjust to be more efficient, to hold yourself in a more efficient way? What would happen if you took your hands out a little wider, spread your fingers out a little wider? What would happen if you widened your stance with your feet? Maybe you pick up your toes and spread them apart and feel that stretch in the backs of your legs a little bit more. Maybe you move your hips from side to side, shake your head, yes or no. So see if you can feel strong foundation through your hands. It's like you're taking energy from the ground and moving it up through your arms, through your side bodies. And then see if you can feel a connection to your center. So like there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button that pulls up and tugs back. Are your shoulders strong and spacious? Or does it feel like they're kind of up next to your ears and you don't have much space there? Are you hyperextending through your shoulders? Can you keep them strong and plugged into the sockets? And then what about your breath? Have you lost track of it? Or are you still breathing big, spacious inhales, slow, steady exhales? Can you still hear your breath flowing through you? Take about 2 more rounds in your down dog. And then in your own time, just crawl your hands to the back of your yoga mat until you are in a forward fold. So no rush. Eventually, you're at the back of your mat. All your weight is now in your feet. You can have a little or big bend in your knees. Try to keep your weight just slightly more forward. So less in your heels, more in the balls of your feet and the pads of your toes. And then even if you have a great big bend in your knees, focus on lifting your butt up as high as you can. Use the strength in your core. Crown of your head towards the ground. So let your neck relax, head heavy. If you want to take a rag doll, go for it. Grab opposite elbows, fold your arms overhead, and just kind of sway or bob or bounce it out. Maybe you walk your hands to one side and then the other. Maybe you even wrap your arms around the backs of your legs. So anything goes, just feeling into your forward fold, perhaps playing with the weight in your feet. Noticing how you can get more out of this pose. Not by cranking your body into a position it's not ready for, but just by counterbalancing all your little imbalances. So how do you kind of adjust so that you don't have to work as hard? And maybe there's a way that you can adjust so you're feeling a stretch in the backs of your legs a little bit more, or you're feeling a connection to your center a little bit more. So it's just efficiency. Take one more round in your forward fold. Next time you inhale, halfway lift position. So spine nice and long, parallel to the ground. Exhale, let it go, refold. And then come through your halfway lift and take it all the way to stand. So inhale, rise, arms to the sky, stretch tall, hands to heart as you exhale. We'll move through a couple half sun salutes. Inhale, arms to the sky, full body stretch. Exhale, hinge at your hips, dive down. Maybe take your time, traction out your spine. Yeah, then fold. Breathe in, find your halfway lift position. Back of your neck is long, so gaze down. Exhale, refold, let it go. Press into your feet, lead with your heart, take it back to stand. Reach up, stretch, maybe even gaze up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. One more round just like that. So much awareness as you move through. Inhale, reach, stretch, lengthen. Exhale, follow your breath down. Fold as you are empty. Yeah, nice, Christine. Breathe in, spinal extension, Ardha Uttanasana. Nice, Chris. Exhale, refold. Press into your feet, lead with your heart. Rise up. Inhale, reach. Nice, Ellie. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale, take your arms to the sky. As you exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, bend your elbows a lot and bring your palms together. Roll your shoulders back and down. And for a moment, just make circles with your hands behind you, really fast circles, like you're putting your hands in the washing machine or the dryer. And then reverse those circles, take them the opposite way. See if you can make them even bigger. You should feel your shoulders start to get tired or start to build heat. Keep it going, circle, circle, circle. And then let it go and just stretch through the front of your shoulders. So you might keep pressing your palms, but reach your hands back as far as you can. So you're feeling into the opening in the front of your shoulders. If you want, add a little baby back bend. So not by collapsing your head back, but by lifting your heart and lifting your gaze. Hug in with your inner thighs and gently press your hips forward. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, hands stay clasped, hinge at your hips, dive down, fold. Relax your neck here, let your head be heavy. If you're pressing your palms and that feels like too much, you can let that part go. Just lift your knuckles as high as you can. Lift your sit bones as high as you can. You might have a big bend in your knees. Your feet might be really wide. That's perfect. See if you can relax your neck, let your head hang. So maybe give it a shake. Yes, no. Good job, friends. Take one more inhale, feeling into the front of your shoulders, working the space there. Exhale, hands to low back, then release your clasp, let your arms go. You can give them a little shake out. Nice job. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift position. And then from your halfway lift, plant your hands or your fingertips and ever so slowly crawl your hands forward till you're in a plank position. So top of a push-up, shoulders over wrists, spread your fingers wide and push the ground away. Once you're in your plank, take little baby rocks forward and back. So just little baby rocks, an inch or so of movement. Keep pushing the ground away, breathing into your back body. See if you can even feel the front of your thighs, your quad muscles squeezing. Take a little tiny rock forward, start on your tippy toes. Inhale here. You can come down to your knees if you'd like to modify. Exhale, lower just halfway. Strong through your arms, strong through your belly. Inhale, push back up, high plank. Yeah, do that one more time. Exhale, little rock forward, lower halfway. Hold until you're empty, and then inhale, push back up. Exhale all the way to your belly this time. Slow, strong, straight line. Nice work. Find a back bend of your choice. So Spider-Man Cobra might feel really good. You could twist from side to side, maybe a Sphinx pose, baby Cobra, full Cobra, up dog, whatever you'd like. And then no rush, but eventually downward facing dog. Good job, friends. You've got about 5 breaths in your down dog. So once you're there, feel free to move around a little bit, explore a little bit, feel whatever there is to feel. Try not to shorten your stance. So your hands and your feet should pretty much be the same distance apart as they are in a plank position. So I always see people go back into their down dog and then walk their feet forward like they want to stand on their feet. You do not need to stand on your feet. Your hands are your foundation in this pose. So maybe you just bend your knees instead and press your hips up and back. You have so much more space if you keep that distance. So try it, even if it feels weird or uncomfortable. Maybe you just try it today. See how it feels. If you hate it, you never have to do it again. Big deep breaths into your down dog. If you want to turn it into a turbo dog, feel free. You could bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards each other. So you're really just working the strength in your arms and your shoulders. Keep your neck nice and relaxed, good Lily, and keep lifting your hips high. Keep that connection to your center. Very nice. Good job. Take one more big inhalation, everybody, into your dog pose. And then as you exhale, this time look forward, step, tiptoe, or hop top of your space forward fold. As you breathe in, find your spinal extension, halfway lift, nice and long. Good, nice Cali. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet, lead with your heart all the way up. Arms reach, Kathy. Hands to heart center as you exhale. All right, inhale, take your arms to the sky. And exhale, chair plane. So bend your knees, sit low, reach your arms back behind you. Shoulders back and down. So the same way your shoulders would be if you were interlacing your fingers, try to create that as much as you can just by using your awareness, your strength and mobility. Good. So back muscles hug towards your spine. Nice, Jossie. See if you can keep a little lift in your heart. So rather than rounding and looking down, heart is lifted like you're in a cobra pose. Stay where you're at, or option to float up to your tiptoes. So rock forward and lift your heels really high. Higher your heels go, see if you can get your butt even lower. So as you lift your heels, bend your knees more. Yeah, thanks, Crystal. Slow, steady breath. Take one more round. Stay on your tiptoes if you want. High mountain, all the way up as tall as you can grow. Maybe even stay on your tiptoes as you take your swan dive down. So heart leads, it's helpful if you bend your knees. This is an exaggeration of how you want it to feel every time. So your heels are always light as you fold forward. Halfway lift position, heels down, spine long. Good, and then exhale, plant your hands, feet back, choose your own way to move through your vinyasa. So you can add some push-ups, you can take it on your knees, maybe you want to substitute cat-cows, nice Liz, you can skip it if you'd rather. And then back to downward facing dog, find your breath. Inhale, take your right leg to the sky. So feeling into the length from your fingertips, nice Christine, all the way up to your right heel or your toes. I do not care about height. See if you can straighten your right leg, make it strong, powerful. Pushing down into your hands, press up through your right foot. Take one more great big inhalation. Nice, Tracy. As you exhale, round your spine, knee to your nose. So curl in, stay here, breathe in, shoulders over your wrist, high on your back, tippy toes. And then exhale, step forward softly. Rise up to crescent lunge in your own time. So front knee directly over your ankle. All of your toes face directly forward, high on the ball of your back foot. Find stability by hugging in towards midline. So front hip energetically pulls back hip energetically pulls forward. So your inner thighs are hugging in, little tones through your lowest, deepest abdominals. You're just slightly pulling your belly button in and up. So you should feel support in your low back. Yeah, nice, Sandra. Lift through your heart, perhaps even gaze up, and then just feel yourself. Feel your body in crescent lunge today, in this moment. Feel your breath flowing through. Take one more big inhale. Maybe you reach a little higher. Find the slightest little back bend. As you exhale, hinge forward and reach back. So airplane lunge. Just like we did in our chair plane, heart stays lifted, back muscles squeeze towards your spine. You want to stay here? Fine with me. Otherwise, Press into your front foot and float your back foot off the ground. Imagine that you are trying to create a little smiley face shape from the top of your head back to your heel. So keep your heart lifted, keep your back muscles strong. Good, hip square, bend your standing leg if it's helpful. Nice, Makai, see if you can get your back heel level with your front shoulders. Take one more round. Good job. End of your exhale, back to crescent lunge. Soft landing if possible. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. And then we're going to move into horizon lunge. I don't teach this very often. So your left hand stays down, right arm reaches forward, up. And as you reach up, turn all of your toes to face towards the right side of the room. And then reach your right arm back, let your hips lower down. So you can stay here, letting your hips move towards the ground, or if you want, feel free to play. Maybe you lift your hips up, lower your hips down. It's like you're going into a variation of a side plank as you lift your hips. So feel free to move in your own way, explore in your own way, or just hang out for a couple more breaths. If this feels like too much in your left wrist, you might scoot your left hand forward a little bit, closer to the top edge of your mat. All of your toes should be facing towards the right side of the room. You're on the outer edge of your back foot. Take one more round. And then next time you inhale, reach your back arm, your right arm up, and then bring your toes to face forward as you set your right hand down. Standing splits is where we're going. So right foot roots, left leg floats high. You choose. Your hips can be square or you can let your hips open. Just try not to sink into your outer right hip. So your balancing leg, hug in with your right inner thigh. Lift from your belly button, from your center. Your hands are on the ground just to help with balance. If you want to play, maybe your right arm wraps behind your right leg. Maybe you take a couple handstand hops. So back leg strong, back foot active. If you're holding the pose, relax your neck. Let your gaze fall somewhere behind you or even up towards the ceiling. Very nice, everybody. You look so good. Take one more inhale, lift a little bit higher. And then listen carefully as you exhale. We're setting up a curtsy squat. Step your left toes off the right side of your mat. Bend your knees. And then lift your upper body, hands to your heart. Square off your hips as much as you can. So right hip pulls back, left hip draws forward, inner thighs squeeze. Take some little pulses. Good. Keep your spine nice and long. Your butt is not sticking out behind you, but your tailbone is reaching towards the ground as you draw your belly button in and up. Get as low as you can and just hold. Take one more round. As you inhale, step onto your right foot, arms to the sky, left knee lifts, standing staff. So balance on your right foot. And then exhale, we're gonna slowly move into a low lunge. So as slow as you can, hands to the ground, left toes to the back of your mat, soft landing. From low lunge, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. So right leg high and then open up your hip this time. So bend your knee, reach your knee out and up. Yeah, very good. Feel your right hip stack on top of left. Your hands are rooted. Take one more inhale here. You can hold here if you want, or exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Option 2, scorpion your right leg if you want. Open your hip. Exhale, right to right. Aim high. Push the ground away. Awesome, Kathy. Inhale, three-legged. This time, square hips. Straighten your right leg, square off your hips, and exhale, rock forward into your plank or three-legged plank or modified plank and lower down, chaturanga. Good. You can always go straight to down dog instead. Inhale to lift your heart. Feel free to take an extra breath or two, and then eventually down dog. So if you have your hands and your feet the same distance apart in your down dog as you do in your plank, that little rock forward It just kind of comes naturally. If you don't, it feels like you have to readjust a whole bunch of things. So play with that distance, giving yourself more space in down dog, perhaps than you're used to. Big deep breaths, ujjayi. Inhale your left leg to the sky. So hips square, inner thighs face each other. If it's helpful, bend your right knee a lot. Try not to sink into your outer right hip, but hug in with your right inner thigh. Left leg, I don't care about height. Go for length, strength, power. See if you can feel the front of your left thigh, your quad muscle turning on. It's engaged. Nice, Kate. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, left knee to your nose. So round and hollow out. Stay here as you breathe in. Push the ground away. See if you can lift your waistline higher. And then step forward super softly. Crescent lunge. Rise. Settle in. Take your time. So there's definitely an element of balance in your crescent lunge. You're balanced on the ball of your back foot and your back toes. Find your stability by hugging towards midline. Feel your inner thighs squeeze, your low belly tone. Your heart puffs up. You're lifting through your heart like a proud chest. Nice trace. Reaching through your fingertips, either actively or maybe you want to soften. So just be intentional. Feeling every space inside of you. Feeling your breath move through every space inside of you. One more inhale. Maybe reach higher. Maybe take a little teeny tiny back bend. Exhale, airplane lunge. So first, just hinge forward, reach back. Find your connection to center. Hug in with your inner thighs. Keep that little lift in your heart. When you're ready, launch off your back foot, full airplane. You want to stay in your airplane lunge? Totally fine. As you move into airplane, see if you can feel into that smiley face shape from the crown of your head back to your heel. So use your back muscles to lift your heart. Use your inner thigh muscles to lift your back heel. Bend your standing leg if it's helpful. Good. Take one more full round of breath. Awesome, Chris. Come back to crescent lunge. Soft landing if possible. Arms reach up. Inhale. And then exhale. Hands to the earth. Horizon lunge. So left arm reaches forward, up. Rotate your toes out towards the windows, and then left arm reaches back. Your hips can come down. Maybe you just kind of move around here, rock back and forth. Maybe you want to lift and lower a few times, like you're moving into a side plank and then coming back down. Feel around. And again, if it feels like too much on your right hand, your right wrist, scoot your right hand forward a little bit. Nice job, everybody. So all of your toes are facing towards the left wall. Last couple breaths. Might feel into the length of your right side body or your left hip, space there. Next time you inhale, let's take our left arm up. Lift your hips, and as you exhale, rotate your toes forward, root down into your front foot. Standing splits, right leg floats high. And high can be 2 inches off the ground if that's what it is. So just find your own edge and then be with it. Breathe into it. Play with it. Maybe left arm behind left leg to work with balance. Maybe handstand hops. If you're holding the pose, try not to look forward and strain through your neck, but just let your neck relax. Gaze up or somewhere behind you. Right toes are active, so feel the energy running all the way up into your right foot. Good job, you guys. Take one more inhale, right leg high. As you exhale, set up your curtsy squat. So your right toes step off the left side of your mat. Bend both of your knees and lift your upper body, hands to your heart center. Square off your hips as much as you're able. So pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Make sure your stance isn't too long. If your stance is too long, it's really hard to square off your hips. Take little pulses up and down. Just a couple inches of movement so you're staying nice and low. Let the heat build in your legs. Soft face. Slow, deep breath. Good job. Get as low as you can. Take one more round. And then as you inhale, root into your left foot, arms to the sky, right knee lifts, standing stack. Find your balance here. Flex your right toes. Reach high. Take one more inhale. Slow motion, low lunge. So hands come down, right toes step back. Once you're in your low lunge, three-legged dog, left leg unthreads. Take it all the way back and up. Open through your left hip. Bend your left knee. Stack left hip on top of right. So feel that. You can stay here if you want. Otherwise, one more in breath. Exhale, little twist, left knee, right elbow. Push the ground away. Use your obliques. Nice dipika. Inhale, back up. Open your hip if you want. Exhale, left to left. Aim as high as you can on your arm. Nice, Christine. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time, square hips. Long through your left leg. Exhale, rock forward, plank to chaturanga, your variation. Hands and right foot don't even need to move. Good. Lift your heart. You can take an extra breath or two in your heart opener if you want. And then down dog, or if you'd like, you can take child's pose instead. So give yourself a moment to just feel, to just come back to your breath. Notice sensation, pulsation. If you want to give yourself a couple open mouth sighs, now would be a great time. We'll move through that entire sequence as a flow, one breath, one movement. It doesn't mean we speed through it as fast as we can with momentum. It means we move really slowly and mindfully with our big, deep breaths. And if at any time you want to give yourself a break, you want to do your own thing, please feel free. So remember, this is your practice. Always listen to your body first. If you are coming with me, downward facing dog. Big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, look to the top of your space, step or float, forward fold. Once you have arrived, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, bow all the way to empty. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, all the way to stand. Arms to the sky, breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Chair plane or drinking bird. Exhale, bend your knees, swing your arms back, maybe float to tiptoes. Stay on your tiptoes if you want. High mountain, as tall as you can grow. Maybe stay on your tiptoes as you take your slow dive down. If you set your heels down, just keep your weight more forward. Inhale, halfway lift, heels on the ground. Good job. And exhale, plant your hands, feet back, chaturanga. Try to keep that exhale going as you lower. Heart lifts with your in-breath, shoulders down and back. Nice, Ellie. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big, huge inhale, right leg strong and powerful. Lift it up. Take it back. Exhale, step it through as soft as you can. Inhale, slow rise, strong through your legs, connected to center. Exhale, you choose airplane lunge or back leg lifts to fly. Good. Nice Makai. Back to crescent, soft landing if possible. Breathe in, lift your heart. Exhale, hands to the ground. Listen here as you inhale, just a twist. Right arm to the sky, revolve lunge. Exhale, let that go. Root into your right foot, left leg high. Spread your toes. Exhale, set up for curtsy squat. Set your left foot down and inhale, lift your upper body. Hands to heart. As you exhale, take some pulses. Hold. Inhale, reach up, lift your left knee up, standing staff. You can extend your left leg if you want. Exhale, slowly, mindfully, low lunge, soft landing, hands frame your front foot. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg high, option to open your hip. Stay and hold, or exhale, right knee, left elbow, push the ground away. Good, inhale, back up. Right to right as you exhale, push the ground away. You can add a push-up if you want. Inhale, three-legged square hips. Straight to down dog, or exhale, rock forward, plank to chaturanga. Nice, Chris. Heart lifts as you breathe in. Good, Deepika. Hips lift as you breathe out. Inhale, left leg high. Stay with it, strong and powerful. Exhale, step through softly. Crescent lunge, slow rise. Inhale, find your stability. Exhale, yogi's choice, airplane lunge or fly, full airplane. Good, nice, Jossie. Inhale, back to your crescent, heart lift, gaze lifts. Beautiful, Kate. Exhale, hands down. And remember, just a twist. So inhale, revolve, lunge, left arm up, gaze up. Exhale, unwind. Root into your front foot. Inhale, standing splits. Float your right leg high. Exhale, set up for curtsy squat. Step your right toes off the left side of your mat. And as you inhale, lift your upper body, hands to heart. Stay as you exhale, stay low and pulse it out. Good. Inhale, standing staff, arms lift, right knee lifts. Maybe you even extend your right leg. Slow and controlled. Exhale, low lunge, soft landing. Hands frame your front foot. Inhale, three-legged down dog, left leg high. Open your hip. Stay and hold, or exhale, left knee, right elbow. Use your obliques to twist. Nice, Kathy. Inhale, back up. Left to left as you exhale. Option for a push-up. Bend your elbows. Don't let your butt drop down. Inhale, back up. Nice, Lizzie. Square hips. This time, exhale, either straight to down dog or plank to chaturanga. Inhale, peel your heart open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big deep breaths. You can give yourself some big open mouth sighs. Ah. Yeah, we'll go through that one more time. Listen carefully for just a few small changes. If you are coming with me, one more inhale into your dog pose. And exhale, gaze forward, step, tiptoe, or hop. Top of your space, forward fold. Halfway lift position, breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, bow and fold. All the way to empty, then rise. Arms reach up, inhale. Hands to heart. Exhale. Here we go, last round. Inhale, reach up. Now listen. Side body stretch of your choice to your right. So up and over. Exhale all the way to emptiness. Inhale back to center. Switch sides with your exhale, up and over. All the way to empty. Inhale back to center. Now as you exhale, cactus your arms, little baby back bend, navel to spine to protect low back. Inhale, realign, so reach up, find neutral. And then now add chair plane or drinking bird. Exhale, option to float to tiptoes. Stay on your tiptoes if you want, all the way up as tall as you can grow. High mountain. Yes, and maybe stay on tiptoes one last time as you dive down, forward fold. Very nice. Heels down for your halfway lift. Inhale. Nice, Kathy. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, take your vinyasa. If you'd rather skip it, skip it. Inhale, lift your hearts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high, strong and powerful. Softly and slowly exhale, right foot forward, low lunge. Rise as you breathe in, crescent lunge. Heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, one last chance to fly, or just keep your back foot on the ground, no big deal. Inhale, come back to crescent, soft landing. Heart lifts, reach. Exhale, hands come down. Again, just adding a twist. Inhale your right arm to the sky, open through the right side of your heart. Listen carefully. Exhale, unwind. Walk your hands all the way over to the left long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten your legs. Inhale, another halfway lift, lengthen. And then you choose anywhere you want to go, about 5 rounds of breath. So you can take a little break here if you want, or maybe you want to play. Maybe you want something a little more active. So you choose, what does your body need today? Good. Soft face. If you're holding the forward fold, try not to rock back into your heels, just like in our regular forward fold. Weight a little bit forward. Butt towards the sky, crown towards the ground. Awesome job. Last couple of rounds. Nice, Lily. Next time you breathe in, come back to your halfway lift, fingertips on the ground, bend your knees if needed. And then exhale, crawl your hands forward, rotate your toes forward, standing splits as you inhale, left leg high. Take a little hop if you want. Exhale, left foot steps off the right side of your mat, or left toes, I should say. Bend your knees. Inhale, curtsy squat, hands to heart. Lift your upper body. Exhale, pulse it out, stay low. Inhale, excuse me, standing staff, arms reach up, left knee lifts, option to extend left. Now listen, exhale, warrior 3 or your variation of it. Maybe you want to take an airplane pose instead. So you choose your arms, hold here, one more deep breath, your fullest expression, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe your fingertips are on the ground, that's fine. And low lunge, land softly, hands frame your front foot, set your back toes down. Inhale, right leg to the sky, 3-legged, open your right hip. Stay here, or exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged, open your hip if you want. Exhale, right to right, push the ground away. Nice, Crystal. Inhale, back up, listen, open your hip this time. Option to flip your dog if you would like. So right foot steps down behind you, heart forward, press your hips up, feel the strength in your back body. Your back muscles hug around your spine. If you're in the back bend, one more deep breath. Beautiful, friends. Come back to a regular down dog, walk it out. You can absolutely keep walking it out right here, or option to inhale and rock forward to plank. Maybe hover your right leg. Exhale, chaturanga, slowly lower. Inhale, lift your heart. Nice, Makai. Exhale, lift your hips, down dog. We've got one more side. Inhale your left leg to the sky, strong and powerful. Exhale, step through softly. Rise with your in-breath. Arms lift, heart lifts, maybe your gaze lifts. One last chance for your airplane or stick with airplane lunge. Good, you got it. Back to crescent, soft landing. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Revolve lunge. Inhale, lift your left arm, open through the left side of your arms. Exhale, let it go. Unwind, hands all the way over the right long edge of your mat. Once again, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale to lift halfway and lengthen so everything grows long. And then exhale, either work your fold or option to explore or play. This is also a great time to reconnect to your breath if you have lost it. So just notice, feel, perhaps a couple open mouth sighs. Ah. Good job, friends. If you're working somewhere, start to wrap it up. Next inhalation, halfway lift, fingertips on the ground, bend your knees if needed. As you exhale, mindfully crawl your hands forward. Rotate toes forward. Inhale, standing splits, right leg high. Take a hop if you want. And then exhale, step your right toes off the left side of your mat. Bend both of your knees. Inhale, curtsy squat with your hands at your heart. Exhale, pulse it out. Inhale, standing staff. Arms reach, right knee lifts. Maybe you extend right leg. Exhale, warrior three or your variation of a warrior three. So pause there and hold. Take one great big huge breath in your fullest expression. Back leg strong. Good. And then land in a low lunge. Hands frame your front foot, back toes to the ground. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged. Open your hip. Stay and hold or exhale, left knee, right elbow. This is your last time with these. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left to left. Add the push up if you want. Don't let your butt drop. Inhale, back up. Open your hip. Option to flip your dog. Left foot steps down. Heart forward. So like your heart wants to look at the front wall. Beautiful. Lift your hips. Feel your back muscles hugging your spine, supporting your spine. Take one more breath all the way down into your belly. Nice, Tracy. And then come back, regular down dog. Walk it out. Find your breath. You can keep walking it out a little longer. Or next inhale, rock forward to high plank. Option to hover left leg. Exhale, chaturanga, lower down. Heart lifts as you breathe in. And then everybody find a resting pose of your choice. So maybe that's a child's pose. Maybe you feel like down dog can be a resting pose, and that's fine. Maybe a hero's pose or a puppy pose to stretch your shoulders. Yeah, or maybe you just want to lay on your belly. So give yourself a moment to just be, to just feel all that energy running through your body. Feel your big, deep breaths. Whenever you are ready, let's say in your next couple rounds, find downward facing dog once again. All right, great big inhale into your dog pose. Exhale, look forward, step or float, top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Root through your feet, take it all the way to stand. Arms reach up. And listen, exhale, hands to your hips. So keep your hands on your hips. Right foot stays where it's at. Step your left foot back a foot or so, setting up for a pyramid pose. So personally, I like my feet on 2 train tracks with all 10 toes facing directly forward. Some people like an angle in their back foot and they're more on a balance beam. You want your hips to be as square as possible. So right hip pulls back, left hip draws forward, hug in with your inner thighs. Take an inhale, arms to the sky. And as you exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades hug your spine. Maybe even start to reach your hands back. And a little lift of your heart, pump up through your chest, gaze up, one more in-breath. As you exhale, keep pulling your right hip back, lead with your heart, hinge forward, dive down. When you can't lead with your heart anymore, then let your head be heavy. Let your neck relax. See if you can keep working the opening in the front of your shoulders. Keep lifting your knuckles up. Keep pulling your right hip back. Press back through the very, very top of your right thigh. If you want to let go of the arms and just focus on the stretch in your legs, that's fine with me. Use your breath. So every single inhale, you create more space. Every single exhale, you dive a little deeper and you move into that space. Good job, friends. Try not to roll onto the outer edge of your front foot. Stay rooted through the inner edge as well. Take about 2 more rounds. Yeah, that's it. Good job. End of your next exhalation, hands to low back. Release your clasp. So bend your front knee if needed and bring your hands to the ground or to blocks if you're using them. Walk your hands forward. So come into like a halfway lift with your spine and float your back leg off the ground. So it's like you're in a warrior 3 with your fingertips on the ground or hands on blocks. And then we're going to move into a half moon, balancing half moon. So your left hip starts to open and step on top of right. You might bring your left hand to your left hip. Eventually, you might reach your left arm up. And if you want, you could even move into the bound variation, Ardha Chandra Chapasana. So you would bend your left knee and reach back, grab hold of your left foot. Wherever you are at, just feel it all. Feel your breath moving through all the little spaces. Heart is open, shoulders are open, hips are open. Very nice, you guys. See if you can be here for 2 more rounds. If that means you fall out of it for those 2 rounds of breath, perfectly fine. Good job. See if you can land in a warrior 2. So slowly, intentionally, step your left foot back, plant your left foot, and then settle in. So your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Wrap your right butt cheek, your front butt cheek underneath your body. Track your front knee open towards your pinky toe. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up, reach back, lengthen your right side. Keep bending into your right knee. Take 1 more inhale. How much length can you create as you inhale? And then exhale, just cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot, step your front foot back. You're in a plank position. From your plank pose, lower down to your forearms, forearm plank. Good job, you guys. Stay with me. So elbows are no wider than shoulders. Forearms parallel, palms face down, fingers spread wide. Or you can make a little tripod, interlace your fingers as a modification. Start to walk your toes towards your elbows and lift through your hips. Come into dolphin pose. Take just 3 breaths. That's it. 3 breaths in dolphin. If you want to reach your right leg to the sky or play with some hops, go for it. Keep pressing down through the belly of your forearms. Keep pressing or squeezing, I should say, your upper arms towards one another. If you're holding, relax your neck. Press your chest back. One last big deep breath. Open mouth sigh if you want it. End of your exhale, right foot down, knees down. Take a rest. Child's embryo, puppy, heroes. Just breathe into your low back. Nice and easy. Let yourself feel held by the ground. Give yourself about 2 more rounds. You can sigh it out if you want to. And then downward facing dog. So use your breath. I know your muscles are getting tired, your body's getting tired. Use your breath to power you through the rest of class. One more big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, gaze to the top of your space, however you want to get there, forward fold. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold it. Root to rise. So feet root down as you rise up. Arms reach up, inhale. And then again, exhale, hands to hips. Left foot stays where it's at. Right foot steps back about a foot or 2. It depends how long your legs are. Again, you choose feet on a balance beam with a little angle in your back foot, or feet on 2 train tracks. All 10 toes face forward. Sorry, zoomies. All right. So take a moment. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward, hugging with your inner thighs. Arms to the sky. Inhale. And then exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. This time, switch them to 1 finger over. So it's going to feel a little bit unnatural. It's going to feel a little funky. Go with that. Shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades hug your spine. Maybe your hands reach back. Maybe your heart lifts up. Take 1 more in breath. Keep pulling your left hip back as you lead with your heart and dive forward. So lead with your heart for as long as possible. Then fold. If you don't like having your fingers interlaced at any point, you could let that go. And just breathe. Use your breath to dive deeper, to fold further. So from the inside, you're working the pose, breath by breath. So the very, very top of your left thigh, right where your leg meets your upper body, press back from there. All the way to empty with your exhale, and that's your invitation to dive deeper, fold further. Last couple of rounds. Try not to roll onto the outer edge of your front foot. Stay grounded through the inner edge as well. Good job, everybody. End of your next exhalation, hands to low back. Release your clasp. Fingertips to the ground. Bend your front knee if you need to. Walk your hands forward. If you're using blocks today, take your blocks with you. So hands walk forward, spine elongates as you float your back leg up. So like you're in a warrior 3. And then open up. So right hip stacks on top of left for your half moon. Right shoulder stacks on top of left. You might reach your right arm up, maybe right hand to hip, maybe the bound variation. Or maybe you're falling in and out a million times, and that's totally fine. So wherever you are at, Meet yourself right there. Breathe into it. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. 2 more rounds in your pose. Heart open, hips open, shoulders open. After your 2 breaths, see if you can land in a warrior 2 stance. So step your right foot back. Good job. Take a moment to settle in, to adjust if needed. So track your front knee towards your pinky toe. Back foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Front palm rotates up. Reach up, reach slightly back. Feel the length in your left side. Good. Keep bending deeply into your front knee. Lift your left rib cage up away from your left hip. Breathe into that space. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground, low lunge. So pivot to the ball of your back foot and then step your front foot back, plank. One more big push, come down to your forearms, forearm plank. You're almost there. So find your strength in your arms, in your shoulders, in your core, and then start to work into your dolphin pose. Walk your toes forward, lift your hips. There's an invisible rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling straight up now, straight up towards the ceiling. Press your chest back if you're holding dolphin. Let your neck relax. If you want, you can lift your left leg, or you can even play with some hops. Just a couple more breaths. You can do it. You are so much stronger than your mind wants you to think you are. Soft face. Big breath. One last inhale. Maybe sigh it out your mouth. Left foot down, knees down, and take a rest. Good job, you guys. So take just a moment to feel it all.
One day I was walking down the road, got myself a big fat smile.
Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky. And pigeon pose as you exhale. So right shin forward, gently set your body down. If you'd rather take this in a seat or on your back or any other variation, choice is absolutely yours. Bye, Kathy. We love you. Nice job, everyone. So find your own variation, intentionally setting yourself up. Nice, Trace. And then, yeah, it's good. Use your breath. So just settle. So energetically pull your right hip back and even slightly up as you take your heart forward. So Ellie, see if you can bring your knee out a little wider. Yeah. And then focus on pulling this. Yeah. So your butt's a little bit off the ground even. Take about 4 or 5 more breaths. Open mouth size. Welcome at any time. Ah. Last couple rounds. If you're in regular pigeon, start to find your way back as you're ready to down dog, however you want to get there. If you're in some other variation of pigeon, you can choose where you want to go. Maybe you want to go back to a down dog. Maybe you want to stay on your back or in a seat and just find some neutralizing movements on your own. So you choose what would feel best. If you're in down dog, just walk it out, or maybe you want to move through a vinyasa. I'm just going to say everybody in your next couple breaths or so, start a transition to the other side, to your left side. No rush. Set yourself up just as intentionally as you did on the right. So if you're in regular pigeon, and especially if you have more naturally open hips, try to find the structure and the strength, the stability that supports the pose. So you're pulling your left hip back, even slightly up. It's like there's a rope attached to your left butt cheek. It's dragging your left butt cheek back and pulling up towards the sky just a little bit. Active through your left toes. Big deep breaths. Maybe you want to visualize your breath moving down into your low back and your hips. Ah. I guess somewhere between 3 to 5 more rounds on this side. Anytime you want, big open mouth sigh. Sorry, it's loud. Ah. And then as you feel, I'll leave it up to you, as you feel pretty much even on both sides, no rush. Either find your way back to one final down dog. Maybe that means you take one last vinyasa as well. Maybe you're already on your back. You want to wait for us there. Perhaps you're in a seat. You want to take some movement there. Yeah, I love windshield wipers with your knees. And then everybody, take your time, no rush, but everyone in your next few breaths, find your way down onto your back, however you want to get there. Whatever movements you want to take in between. Once you're down on your back, just hug your knees in, draw them in gently, and rock it out side to side. Give your low back a nice little massage against the ground. And after a few rocks from side to side, supine spinal twist, whatever variation you want to take, whichever direction you'd like to go first. And then after 3 to 5 rounds on one side, transition to the other side. And please feel free to take as long as you want in your twists, but eventually come back and find a happy baby pose. So use your happy baby to neutralize your spine rather than rounding a lot. See if you can draw the backs of your shoulders towards the ground, work your tailbone down towards the ground. Feel free to rock, or maybe you even want to extend one leg and then the other, both at the same time. And from your happy baby, if there are any other movements, stretches, poses, anything else your body is craving, give yourself a moment to just move through those last poses, or maybe it's not even a pose, it's just some sort of movement that would feel good. So take your time, friends, but start to transition into your final resting pose at some point. As you start your transition, slowly find your way there. I'll read to you. And this is a poem by Wendell Berry. It's called The Peace of the Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. So for these last few moments, just allow yourself to be right here, to rest in the grace of the world, to feel all the aliveness in your body, feel the sound of the bowls vibrating inside of you. And give yourself these last few moments to just take it all in, to rest, to just be. Shavasana. Take a big deep breath down into your belly. Let it go. Just slowly begin to move gently. Eventually roll to either side, fetal position. And as you roll onto your side and rest there for a couple breaths, just really let your practice, let that sound bath and all the energy from it just really settle and absorb and integrate in. Maybe there's some way you want to visualize that or imagine that for yourself. And then just slowly start to find your way up into a seated position. Close your eyes, gather your hands to your heart, and just bow your head to your heart. Acknowledge yourself in gratitude, just thanking yourself for showing up, taking the time to do your practice. And I thank each of you so much for being here, for letting me guide you. The light in me sees and reflects the light in you. Namaste. All right, friends. Thank you so much. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. Ask Ruby. She knows everything. Right? If only